I want to give a breakdown of what is happening because there seems to be a lot of panic. We woke up to Monday morning Loan Sense here with so many calls and inquiries from people that I definitely want to address the panic. I want to address some of our chief concerns. There's a lot of concerns, especially around borrower defense, public service loan forgiveness. What are the income-driven repayment options? What to do, okay? So I want to address that. I also want to share a video of a borrower who tells her story on CBS News. I just wanted to do a recap and talk through how people can avoid her situation, okay? Because I do think we'll hear a lot of panic stories in media, but what is it that you can actually do to empower yourself? Not just empower yourself, but have action items and steps to take. You don't need to sit there or just try to call your servicer and not get through. First off, let's just say wage garnishment. I want to start with some stats. TransUnion has said that about 20.5% of borrowers are now in the pathway to default. And in 2020, first quarter of 2020 was only 11%. So we have defaulted the rates of people going into default. I want to say that I know from the borrowers we're speaking to, even though they've enrolled in income-driven plans, their servicers have not been responsive, and now they're getting multiple late payments or non-payments reported on their credit. So they're technically counted on the path to default, even though they have enrolled their income-driven repayment paperwork, okay? So basically people are doing the steps it's taking, the servicers are being non-responsive, and now the borrower is at risk. So I really highly recommend people do not sit on the phone trying to speak to your servicer. Let's take action, enroll into income-driven plans, refile the paperwork. So if you did it through studentloan.gov, there's a backlog because the studentaid.gov is managed by the Department of Ed, which had a 50% staff cut. I recommend literally taking the form, submitting them directly to your servicer. Loan Sense does that. We submit paperwork directly to the servicer, submit everything in writing, and have a paper trail. Because when you submit stuff to studentaid.gov, there is no paper trail. So you could say, hey, I submitted my income-driven repayment plan paperwork in January, and studentaid.gov will give you no paper trail, and there's no evidence you did it. So at Loan Sense, we submit directly to the servicer. We have all the evidence, and it gives a much more solid ground to be able to get out of whatever default or late payment situation that's being recorded.